Good morning. Just give a second here for people to be able to jump on. Hard to believe it's already another Monday. We got another Monday Mindset starting here. It's September 30th. I'm giving it just a few seconds to notify people. I hope you're having a great Monday morning. Hope you had a great weekend. I want to read for you a quote from our 5 a.m. club this morning. This is Neil Armstrong. He said this: "I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine." What a great, powerful reminder. In fact, that's what I wanted to talk about today. As I went down to Virginia over the weekend to celebrate the life of my grandma on my mother's side. She passed away last weekend, and so we were honoring and celebrating her life this weekend. So just a great time remembering her and everything that she did for our family. I mean, just an incredible legacy. I have so many cousins and siblings and family members because of her. And then more importantly, what was just amazing about my grandma's life, and I think this applies to business, and it's the type of person I want to be. It was amazing in this packed out funeral, just how every single person at this open mic was sharing how they felt they were her favorite person. That's how she made every single person feel, that when she met with them and she talked to them and she, lived life with them, she made them feel like they were the most special person in the world. And what was funny is hearing the open mic going and all these people sharing stories about my grandma. I felt the same thing. And I was like, wow, that's so amazing how a human being can literally make every single person that they come in contact with feel like they are an extremely special, valued individual. And she wasn't just friendly, she was a friend. And that's a great reminder to all of us today in business and in life is don't just be friendly. Be a friend. Being friendly is being polite and smiling at people and making people feel, like you like them. But being a friend is actually wanting to get to know them and help them achieve what they want in their life and being there for them and walking through life with them. And so I just was challenged myself to go, man, would everybody say that at my funeral, that, man, Luke made me feel like I was the most important person, that I was his favorite, that he liked me, valued me. And because life's about relationships. I read that Neil Armstrong quote, "I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine." And I think I titled this like the most important thing to remember in business as this Monday mindset, which is, hey, when you think about what you're doing in business, you should stop and reflect why you're doing it, and then making sure that you love and enjoy what you do. I was listening to a podcast into work this morning by Gary Keller, who is the founder of Keller Williams Realty, which is one of the largest, if not the largest, real estate firms in the world. I think they have over 140,000 real estate agents. And Gary was talking about, he was speaking with his co-host, Jay Abrams, and he said, "Jay, is it about the money?" And Jay goes, what's funny, Gary, is like I saw that in your book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent, that it's not about the money, even though that's really considered to be like the Bible of real estate, this book right here, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's a great read even for insurance agents because it teaches you how to go make $1 million as a real estate agent. And so many of the strategies that real estate agents use can be applied to insurance agents. But, Gary Keller, basically in this book, right here on the title, it goes, "It's not about the money, it's about being the best you can be." But the book is titled The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. And Jay, the co-host, goes, Gary, I read that on the title of the book, but I have to admit for the first many, many years of my life, it really was about the money and chasing the dollars. It isn't until then the latter years of my life how I realized that, wow, I didn't really feel any different after hitting my first million. I didn't feel any different after hitting my second million. It was a great accomplishment, but it truly is about enjoying what you do every day. And here's what's interesting, and I find this to be true about the podcast. They were saying with their guest, they've noticed the same thing that I've noticed about our guest, which is top producing agents. They have stumbled into a lead gen strategy that they naturally enjoy doing. They have stumbled into selling a product and a service that they naturally do and they naturally enjoy. That's where top producers thrive, is they've stumbled in. So maybe for you, you love people, so it's nurturing your database to get referrals, and you love throwing client events. And if you weren't a real estate agent or an insurance agent, you were doing something else, you'd still want to be a part of the events committee. You'd still be networking and going and getting coffee with people because it's just naturally who you are. Or maybe it's cold calling and sales, and you love sales, and whether you were doing insurance or you're doing reminder media or you're doing real estate, you would be making those phone calls because you love the art of sales. So I share that with you to remind you today that, hey, if you want to live a life that is successful, that creates impact, you have to value and love what you're doing. It can't just be about the money. It can't just be about the accolades. It has to be about the journey. And you find successful people tend to say two things when you ask them, hey, why are you still doing what you're doing now that you have all the millions that you have? Why are you still doing it? And there's two things they say. One is for the people around them. They love the people that they work with. And then oftentimes it's a life of impact for them at this point. They want to see those people get to the next level and succeed in their business. Or two, hey, I loved building it and I loved what I was doing then. And I love it just as much now. And money's just a result. Money's just it comes out of my love for what I'm doing in my business every single day. So don't hear me wrong, that it doesn't mean every day you love the grind and the activity, but it does mean every day you love the journey of what you're building, right? And that's a key thing you have to think through. It's like, I don't love making the phone calls every single day, or I don't love doing the content every single day, but I love the process of what's being built. I can't imagine myself doing something else. I've told Megan, because of, my wife, over the years of growing Reminder Media and just, the sacrifice and the time and all that good stuff. I remember there was a key moment. We were coming back from Virginia to here in PA, where our company is. And it was like after Christmas, this was years ago. And she was kind of upset because we were leaving the family and we were going back because I wanted to get back to work. And I looked at her and I said, hey, you got to understand something about me. I'm not going back because I have to go back. The company would survive me not being there, the day after Christmas or, on Christmas Eve or whatever. The company's going to survive. I'm going back because I want to go back. I love what I do. And the reason why I shared that with her is because I go, you got to know that about me, that Luke's not doing this like normal people who have a 9-to-5 that he has to work and he has to show up on the job and all this stuff. He's doing this because he loves it. And it's a part of me. And if I wasn't doing it with Reminder Media, there'd be another thing that I had started that I'd be doing it with because it's part of who I am. And that's why I think, over the years I've been successful, because I don't view it as just a 9-to-5 job just to get me an income. I view it as something of my life work, that I love what I'm doing. I love the creativity. I love the change. I love the self-development. And that's what you need in your life. And if you don't have that, don't settle. Keep pushing for that. Keep pushing every single day to go, how do I make my life impactful and love what I do? And here's the overall summation of my whole point here is I think of my grandma passing away in her funeral, and though it's sad, it was time because of just her health and where she was at. And so she lived a great life and she's in a better place now. But what's amazing in the summation is that if you feel you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're like, Luke, I don't really have that, but I got to make the money. Then you need to think about what you're doing with the money you're making and the lives that you're impacting through the products and services you bring to the table. Because I have found that a life of significance comes from a life of service. If you really want to thrive in your life, Ed Milet teaches this. He's coached presidents. He's coached movie stars. He's coached professional athletes. He's coached some of the best business people in the world. And immediately when he gets to see them and, these people that are in a little bit of a rut and in discouragement and depression, he asks them, how do you give back in your life? Where are you giving back? What charity are you involved in? What are you passionate about that you're giving back to? And he goes, it never fails. People who are depressed and discouraged and they're successful, it's because they do not have in their life avenues where they're giving back. Because a life of significance comes from a life of service. If you want a life of impact, it's about helping others. Because, it's the biblical saying, it's better to give than receive. When you give, man, you get such a better fulfillment, or at least I do, out of just the taking and the receiving. But here's the catch. You can't give from an empty cup. You can't give if you're not successful in business. So why get out there and make a ton of money? Don't be ashamed of making all that money. Make as much money as possible, because when you have a cup that's overflowing, you can give more. You can help more people. Look, to help people and to help others achieve what they want in life, you first have to get to where you've achieved something so you can give in knowledge, give in money, give in mentorship, give in time spent with them. There's a myriad of ways of giving. It's not just the monetary giving that you can do, but that requires you to be the best version of yourself. You read the title of this book, it's not about the money, it's about being the best you can be. That is my rant for you today. Hopefully a little bit inspired, challenging to you guys. Reminder that, make every person that you come into contact with today someone that would show up at your funeral and say, man, Luke made me feel like he was my favorite. Like Luke, really took a personal interest in my life, because that will pay such dividends. And then second, it's about the journey, not the end. And at the end of the day, if you want a life of significance, it comes from a life of service. Make your business and your products and services about helping people, and you will thrive. Let's get out there and win for our family, for our friends, for ourselves. Appreciate you guys. Happy Monday. Let's make it happen.